pick. All right. Well, hopefully we get it figured out. If not, just be you and I. So let's get this party started. All right. Welcome to episode 1 of our new show here on YouTube, 80s film Flashback, where tonight we will be discussing Adventures of Babysitting. I'm Simon.
And I'm Goody.
And you are Goody. We are supposed to have a guest. I think we're having a little technical difficulty, so we'll see if he pops in with us. If not, let's just kind of give you an overview of what 80s film Flashback is. If you've been watching our Thursday night show, we have had some banter when it comes to movies, just in general, but a lot of 80s films with some of our contributors here on the site. And some of them have not seen some classic 80s films. So we decided, you know what? Let's watch the film, all of us, and then we'll discuss it. So tonight we're going to start with Adventures of Babysitting. All the films that we discuss will hopefully always be in Netflix for you to view, so you can either watch it before, watch it after, and interact with us as we do the show. Anything you want to add to that, Goody?
I don't. Obviously looking forward to several of these films. I'm looking forward to Big Trouble in Little China. Sometime very soon, I'm hoping that we can do, and I think I sent you the tweet earlier, we can maybe do Blade Runner before it comes out.
Yes, that would be fantastic. And that might be one that we all just need to go get. I mean, I own it. I know you own it.
I own 2 copies of it now.
I own all 5 copies. You know, of this edit, that edit, blah, 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 blah. So yeah, we all may have to try and find that one. You can rent it on iTunes, you can, that kind of thing. So I think that would be fun to do. We should, which would be what, November?
No, I believe it's October.
October? Oh, then we may have to switch some things around. So, because I know we've got some fun 80s films to look forward to. But like we said, tonight we're going to start with Adventures in Babysitting. A movie that both you and I, when it came out, if not, we watched it on VHS. Everybody goes, what? VHS?
What's that? What?
Yeah. So here's the synopsis. When plans with her boyfriend fall through, high school senior Chris Parker, played by Elisabeth Shue, ends up babysitting the Eddie Anderson kids. Brad, played by Keith Coogan, and Sara, Maia Brewton. What should be a quiet night, however, turns into a series of ridiculous exploits, starting when they leave the house to pick up Chris's friend Brenda. Brenda, played by Penelope Ann Miller. Soon, Brady's buddy Daryl, played by Anthony Rapp, is involved, and the group must contend with car thieves, blues magicians, blues magicians. That's funny. Musicians and much more.
This magic makes me sad.
Yeah, he gets out of here without playing the magic. Here's a little per notes. Kind of went over some of the people who had starred in it. One person I did not mention. Actually, did I even mention her boyfriend? No, I didn't mention his name. Okay, so we have Vincent D'Onofrio, who is in this film, and we also have Bradley Whitford, who plays the boyfriend, who has a really cool trivia thing later on that we'll get to. Was directed by Chris Columbus. It was released on July 3rd, 1987, so kind of a good time to see this since it is July. Screenplay by David Simkins, and the box office, it made $34.3 million.
Which is actually really good for 1987.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think so too. And okay, so let's jump into this. First impressions from not seeing it for so long. What did you think?
I did a lot of laughing, actually. I watched it last week, and I watched it again today. And when I initially saw this movie, and I think for several years after that, I thought Daryl was funny. When I watched it last week and watched it today, I wanted to kill Daryl. I thought he was very annoying. But that was kind of the thing back in the 80s of, you know, how you look around and stuff. But
why did you leave your purse at home? No.
Yeah, because I was saying things like that. I kind of, in retrospect, I was a bit of a jerk. But so yeah, but I didn't realize how old Elisabeth Shue was, because I looked up her birth date again. She was 24 when she made this film.
Okay.
Yeah, she was born in 63. So I was like, wait a second, I thought she was much younger than that. But obviously not. But I still like the film. I still enjoy it. There are times where I'm still giggling, kind of laughing at some stuff, but there are times where I'm now looking at things and going, yeah, that's just kind of dumb. But like I said, there's still a lot of it that I laugh at.
Yeah.
I still enjoy that the girl is a huge Thor fan. I just think that's just hilarious. So.
Yes. Yeah. So it's interesting because the whole Thor aspect plays into Chris Columbus, because Chris Columbus is a huge Marvel fan. So that kind of tied into the film itself, which, hey, Marvel director. I'm with you. I hadn't seen it in forever. I watched it last night. That was my homework last night. I even tweeted out, that I've got the babysitting blues, and it was just a fun ride. I mean, yes, an 80s film, but you know what? I'm still laughing, especially some of the quotes. My wife and I sat down and watched it last night. It's so funny because she's been wanting to watch it, and I keep telling her no, because that's my homework. I want it to be as close to us doing our show as possible. So just hold off, and so she got excited. So sorry, that was weird. All of a sudden, like, I started talking to myself.
Stroke. Oh my gosh.
I know, it's weird. So that was fun. I mean, there's a lot of moments in there that I didn't remember. But here's the thing. When that movie first starts, I think the first maybe 15 minutes, I lost count of how many times people just kept saying, Chris this, Chris that, always saying Chris. Did you notice that?
I did, actually. Now I think about it.
It's like, Chris, I want you to do this. Chris, can you this? Okay, Chris. Chris is here tonight. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, we said it like 5 times within a span of like, a minute and a half. But then you don't, it kind of disappears from you later on, which is kind of cool. I like the premise of it. I like the whole, yeah. And
this whole 80s time frame, where I think there were a lot of kind of babysitting movies came out, but in a lot of different genres. You had the campy, you had the movie monster, like, Monster Squad, you had the horror films. So a lot of things kind of involved around this, babysitting time period, or occupation, which was kind of funny. So I love that everything just goes to crap, so quickly. Brenda is totally screwed. Which is funny, and I forgot that it was Penelope Ann Miller. And so I watched it last week going, oh my gosh, I totally forgot about Brenda, which most people do because she did get forgotten at the bus station anyways.
That's true. That's
but the
funny.
whole premise of her being stuck at this bus station and all the exploits, getting her glasses stolen, trying to barter for the hot dog by giving the check that, Chris wrote her. Well, I'll just sign it over to you. You just give me the hot dog. The fact that she picked up a sewer rat and thought it was a kitten. The guy with the gun. All these weird transgressions. Get out of my house.
Yes.
So it was just kind of funny. The whole Brenda thing. It was a side burner, but Brenda kind of made it too.
Yes, and what's funny is the old guy who's, get out of my house. When they pan down and look, he had an extra pair of dentures in his night bag. Did you notice that?
No.
Oh, that was hilarious. We noticed that last night. Okay, so Logan for some reason can't get in, but he's chiming in on the chat, and he's a little angry about this movie, apparently. Okay, so I thought it was fun. The characters were fun. Now you brought up a point earlier with the different genres that were used with babysitters. And I'm going to go back and double check this. And I didn't see if I found it in the trivia, but I believe that when they decide that all of them are going to go and get Brenda on the TV, on the old TV, which was fantastic to see, Halloween is playing.
Is it really?
I believe it's Halloween, and it's like, oh, look, there's another babysitting movie, which I thought was pretty clever. So I'm going to go back and give that a plus moment, but I do believe it is Halloween that is playing on the TV. And then did you also notice that when they're outside and then Daryl's like, hovering and, they decide to let him go. Did you notice Sarah's backpack?
No.
Gremlins. It's Gizmo, which is cool.
Okay.
I'm like, yes. Okay. So it's, that came out, what, 84? This one came out 87. So a couple years difference. Another like, homage to the 80s. I mean, that is the pop culture at that time, which we will be watching Gremlins in October for Halloween, guys. So we'll be discussing that one. So that will be fun. Let's see. Oh, I know it's one of the trivia things, but earlier on in the film, Bradley Whitford shows up in his car. Okay, with his license plate. So cool. Did you know that was actually his real car and his actual real license plate?
I did prior to this show. I found out back in the, I would say, 90s. But yeah, I was kind of blown away, and I thought that was just hilarious. So
I think that's hilarious as well. That just made me laugh. There's a lot of fun characters in this. The mistaken identity, the whole. Let's choose another. Like what's this? I know what you did last summer. Also, because of the truck driver, they're telling that spooky story about he had the hook, and then when the guy comes to pick him up, he's like, okay, and then they're just freaking out because
the Justice hat was hooked.
Yep.
So
yeah. No, I thought it was a great movie. It was a fun ride. There's a lot of fun stuff going on in it. And of course, it's not for everybody, but this is the era that we grew up with. So these movies bring back memories. These movies are things that it's like, okay, this is what entertainment was for us. Right. You had the not so bright parents and the brighter kids. I thought was, one of those. What would you call that? Oh my gosh, I can't think. A trope. In this movie, there was a couple of tropes that kind of popped up. But what was like your, I don't know, what was like your favorite moment through the whole film? Because there's a few.
Yeah, trying to really narrow it down. This is going to sound really funny, but I thought the whole scene of them jumping into the stolen car, not knowing it was being stolen, and him just taking off. And of course, they're asking to get let out. He's like, lady, I wouldn't even be walking out this neighborhood this time of night. Yeah. But he still takes him to the chop shop. So it's like, what are you doing?
Going to hell.
Oh yeah, it was unbelievably just stupid. But of course, they get out, and of course, the rest of the movie they're being chased by these guys. But I thought that was just kind of funny. Just wrong place, wrong time, really. Hello. You had a hand behind you. That's kind of funny. I know. So, but other than that, I mean, really, there's just several instances. Gosh, the whole Thor issue with Vincent D'Onofrio, I think is pretty good. Yeah. It's funny to go back and actually see him back in '87 because of what he's doing now, or even when he was working on Law and Order. Different dude, completely different guy.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I think for me, it was the whole singing the blues. Nobody gets out of here without singing the blues.
Yeah.
You know, they get up on stage by mistake, running from these guys from the chop shop because they have the Playboy in the backpack, and it has all those notes for Philadelphia's cars delivery, and they want to just leave, and they're forced to sing that song, and that was fun. It was very entertaining, and then the fact that they're able to get a few minutes ahead because the guys who are chasing them can't get out unless they sing the blues.
Right.
So I like that whole scene was pretty fun. So I think it was also funny, like earlier on where they're making a joke about Bradley Whitford's car. He's the guy who kicked my butt, when I was a kid because I touched his car, that kind of thing. And it's like, yeah. So there's a couple of little, nods to, what's going on in the film. Now this was Chris Columbus's first film he directed, and of course later on he goes to direct some Harry Potter. But one of the things, and I haven't noticed this in any of the other movies he's directed, but in Home Alone, there's a scene that happens in Home Alone that also happened in Adventures in Babysitting. Do you know which one I'm talking about? It's a small little thing, but when you go back, you'll go, oh, okay. So in this movie, when and I can't remember the character's name, but the tow truck driver is racing home. As soon as he gets home, he knocks over the lawn jockey.
Oh yeah.
In Home Alone, when they're late, they knock over the lawn jockey.
So it's just the guy knocks it over.
Yes. Yeah. So a little nod to an earlier film, which I thought was kind of fun. One of the things that I noticed about this film too is towards the end of the movie, it felt like, and I don't remember the date, but it felt very much Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because we're racing the parents home.
Right.
And so I'm like, oh, I'm just sitting there going, okay. But it still works because it's not the same kind of setup.
Right.
I love that question. How fast do your parents drive? About 45. We'll go 80. And they're just tearing down the freeway, trying to get home and everything like that.
And
so, yeah. So I liked it. It's fun. I've already talked about some of the trivia, but here's one I thought was kind of interesting. So Julia Louis-Dreyfus, and many of you guys know her from Veep, Seinfeld, a couple of other things. She auditioned for the role, but withdrew in favor of Jodie Foster. So Jodie Foster was also in the running, but she withdrew. The other person who left, who was trying to get this, was Michelle Pfeiffer, Valerie Bertinelli, and Elisabeth Shue, and Justine Bateman as the only choices. Bateman withdrew from the project due to her family ties, her conflicts with that. Pfeiffer left the project instead and starred in Witches of Eastwick. And Bertinelli lost out to Shue on the final day of auditions. So it could have been a completely different movie. So I am very glad that it was Elisabeth Shue.
Yeah, I don't think Valerie Bertinelli could pull that off, to be honest.
Yeah, because at that time, what was the TV show that she was on?
God, what was that?
I can't remember exactly what it was, but I mean, that was her big thing. Justine Bateman was big because of her role on Family Ties. And
I think you're thinking One Day at a Time, but she had finished that by then.
Was it? Okay. All right. So, but I just thought that that's interesting that, you have all these bodies that were going for this. And I think ultimately it ended up being the right person.
Right.
So, you have anything else you want to add to,
I like the fact that you brought in that how many actors were kind of chosen for that role, who they went through. And, you know, in retrospect, looking at all these actresses, and of course, knowing who actually portrayed the role, I can't see anyone else in this list that could have pulled this off. I think the closest might have been Jodie Foster, maybe, but even then, I keep thinking of Jodie Foster going,
Exactly. Exactly. Now, we live in a world of, and I'm going to throw this on you, live in a world of remakes, and you and I have our issues with remakes. But if they were to remake it today, who would you cast in that role? Yeah, like I said, I'm going to throw this on you. Next time, I think I'll add it in the doc, and we can have fun with this. But
this is going to sound odd, but I think I might have an idea.
Okay.
I'm thinking Emma Watson.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
She can play that sort of frantic role.
Yes, she can.
Sometimes she was like that as Hermione. She can be aggressive like Hermione was. So there's like the whole subway train issue. You know, she picks a knife up, don't mess with the babysitter.
Yeah.
I think she could pull it off.
I like that one, actually.
Yeah, I can't. And that's just kind of off the top of my head, but did you have an idea?
No, actually, I didn't. It was just something that kind of popped in my head right now that I was like, oh, we should think of who we would cast in the remake, because that's basically what everybody's doing.
Yeah.
And our next episode, I don't think we're going to have to think about who they should cast, because it's already been cast. But no, I kind of like your choice, actually. So
you like that?
Yeah, I do. I do, actually. That would be fun. And then get Ron Weasley to play the no, I'm just that would be kind of funny. A Harry Potter spin-off of Adventures in Babysitting.
Play the ginger.
So that would be pretty good. All right. So
who would play the Vincent D'Onofrio role, though? Would just have Chris Hemsworth come in?
Oh, you know what? That would be fantastic. No. You know what you should do? You should have his brother come in, who was originally supposed to be Thor, and then he can play Thorness.
There you go.
That would be funny. So that would be, I'd like that. So
or him coming down that, you know, the not the ramp, but the car lift, and all of a sudden his face shows up. Oh my God, everyone would go nuts.
Yeah. That would be hilarious, actually. But you know, Hemsworth probably would, if Marvel let him. That would be a very clever way of doing things.
I think it'd be great.
Yeah, that would be fun. So that would be something fun to do. Like, you know, oh yeah, no, I like that idea. Let's just get Hemsworth to do it. Forget his brother.
Yeah, we should be asking Logan too. I mean, he is watching. I mean, Logan, what do you think? I mean, we're going to talk about something else too next after this, but. What do you think, Logan? Who would you cast as, you know, the new Elisabeth Shue, as the new lead, or who would you like to see replace one of these roles? You know, give us an idea. So we'll keep an eye on chat and see if you come up with an idea.
Yeah, exactly. But that would be fun. So, you know, because, you know, remakes are kind of fun, and it's always fun kind of sitting down and trying to figure out, okay, who would we put in those roles? But you have anything else you want to add?
I don't. You know, it was good to kind of go down memory lane when watching this, especially twice in pretty much 1 week. It really made me think of some of the things that I was doing back in 1987. I remember sitting watching the movie with my family, watching it with friends. So it was kind of cool to go down that memory lane. You know, think about what I was doing, the friends I had. The antics we were getting into. So,
Yep. Yeah, because with this 87, I mean, you and I didn't even meet for another 3 years, so we weren't getting into trouble yet. But no, I'm with you. It was a very fun ride. I enjoyed it. I'm kind of glad that we're doing this. I'm looking forward to our other projects that are coming down the road. But we'll talk about that here shortly. But in the meantime, since you don't have anything else that you wanted to add, where can we find you?
Usual spots. You can find me on Instagram at DJ Kilt. You can find me on Twitter, actually at the Twitter link right below my head here at Chad Griffin 12. You can find me on Facebook at Chad Goodwin, and you can email me goodygoodwin@constantcollectible.com. And you can find all of us at www.constantcollectible.com.
Absolutely. Of course, I'm Simon. That's my link right there, C_collectible. I'm over at Instagram at C_collectible. And of course, the website and many social media platforms. Our email is constantcollectible@gmail.com. We're live every other Monday, so we won't be live next week, but we're live the following week at 8 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Mountain, and our website is constantcollectible.com. We'll be back on July 31st. Okay, same time. So you guys got plenty of time to do your homework for our next film, and we are going to go with a Kurt Russell classic, Big Trouble in Little China, and talk about going down the road. This is going to be fun. Also, don't forget to subscribe and like our channel, and that will keep you up to date with all of our videos that we do produce. Chad, you got any announcements you'd like to throw out there?
I'm still looking to build our database of cosplayers. So if you cosplay, send me an email at goodygoodwin@constantcollectible.com. Get a hold of me, or through the social media. I can send you a questionnaire. You need to fill it out. Send me as many pictures as you want, and we'll write an article about you.
Right on. If you have any suggestions of movies that you would like us to watch and talk about, send them our way at constantcollectible@gmail.com. And like I said, not next week, but the following week, July 31st, we'll be talking Big Trouble in Little. And one announcement I wanted to make is that on our YouTube channel, we're starting to grow a little bit more content. And soon we're going to have an all ages review of some comic books that kids should be watching, and I will have a little guest with me, my 7-year-old daughter. We will be discussing books of what you should be reading for all ages. So stay tuned for that. That'll be coming soon. You guys have a wonderful night. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, feel free to add them to the comment section. Again, like, share, and we can't wait to see you again in 2 weeks. Don't forget, we're also live Thursday night with the regular show. Thanks so much.
Take care, everybody.
I like taking care of everybody. I absolutely